Hello and welcome to the video. This is a bit of radio control news. There are some new receivers that have been released in pre-order from RadioMaster. They're going to be shipping at the end of the month. They're the XR1, XR2, XR3 and XR4, which for those of you of a certain age from the UK will bring to mind a certain range of Ford hot hatches. But these are the latest receivers from RadioMaster. Now, I've had them in a little while. I'm a little late to the party with this. These were actually released for pre-order, I think, just after the 20th of December, but I'm kind of getting round to them now. I've only got 3 of them to have a look at. I haven't got the XR3 here, but I can definitely talk about them. And first of all, it's probably easier just to cover the stuff that's kind of the same between all of them. The only difference here is the XR2 is really designed to be just for those kind of indoor whoops. It has very low power for the things like the telemetry. It has one of those kind of little tower antennas on it as well. So for spaces where it's really tight, but pretty much all the others have lots in common, i.e. the telemetry power is 100 milliwatts. They're available in either 2.4 or sub-G 900 megahertz. They're all using Semtech LR1121 transceivers. They all, interestingly, also feature a secondary UART port. Not sure exactly what that's for. I'm guessing that there are some plans afoot. And there have been talk about having CRSF telemetry receivers, the things that like FreeSky did back in the day. Do you remember those in the old ACCST version 1 days? They had like a GPS, they had a current sensor, they had a battery voltage sensor, they had all kinds of things. I'm wondering whether that is what this secondary UART is going to be for. Castle pad-free desoldering, IPEX1 antenna connectors. Of course, it's a tower antenna on the XR2, so that doesn't really apply. And they're all shipping with ExpressLRS 3.5.1 out of the packet. Again, these are samples that I have here, so I thought it'd be interesting to go through them and just show you what this stuff is. If you're thinking of building something over the winter months here in the Northern Hemisphere, ExpressLRS is the obvious choice for most of us now for newer builds. So let's start with the XR1. This is really a general all-purpose receiver by the look of it. Really great for all everyday stuff. Available in both 900 and 2.4 gigahertz. Be aware this sample one has been shipped with the dual band antenna. That isn't the way it's going to be shipping. The retail version will be sold with the type of antenna only, so it's either going to be 2.4 gig antenna, 915 megahertz antenna, or a dual band antenna, and you can choose that when you're ordering it. 20 by 30 millimeters. Again, Semtech LR1121 transceiver in this, available in either 2.4 or 900 megahertz bands. 100 milliwatts telemetry power, ESP32C3 high-performance MCU, secondary UART port. Working voltage on this is going to be 5 volts. It weighs about 1 gram. And I imagine for lots of pilots, this will be the default go-to one. I imagine they'll sell lots of these, particularly on the 2.4 gigahertz with a single antenna. Next one then to have a look at is the XR2. This is like the XR1, but it's a little bit smaller and a little bit lighter because rather than use an external antenna, it's using this little tower antenna on the corner. This is really designed for those kind of indoor flyers and things like whoops. And that's really evident in the fact that it only has a 10 milliwatt telemetry power. It's only about $10. Only available in 2.4 gigahertz in this particular version, but that makes sense because that's typically all these towers are built for the antenna. Same transceivers, same secondary UART port, and same Castle pads-free desoldering. Again, you get all of the pieces in here, like you get the wire to solder it onto your flight controller, as well as the heat shrink and things that you need too. Working voltage, again, is 5 volts. Weight is 0.8 grams. Dimensions are 16 by 12 by 6 millimeters. The XR3 is sadly one I didn't get sent for these kind of demo units here. This is the more advanced version of the XR1. It has diversity receiver and it can either be dual band, 2.4 or 900 megahertz options. This is going to be more useful for when you want to fly in demanding conditions or you want that safety of diversity. It's about $15. So this one is either going to be Express 2.4 gigahertz or sub-G 900 megahertz. It has the same LR1121 transceiver that they all do, additional UART port again. This time the working voltage is 5 to 12.6 volts, so you can run it a little bit higher, and the weight is about 1.3 grams. Dimensions 22 by 15 by 4 millimeters. The final one that they've released, the big daddy of this particular lineup, is the XR4. And this is a Gemini X receiver for when you really want that safety of being able to have both 2.4 gig and 900 megahertz connections to your model for those demanding environments and peace of mind. A little bit more expensive, but even this is only £20, which when you think of the amount of technology in here and compare it to some of the proprietary systems that offer this dual band capability, it offers a lot of capability for not a lot of cash. This one has built-in 2 independent radio frequency circuits, so it has true diversity and dual band, and it supports Gemini crossband as well. So it's compatible with ExpressLRS 2.4, sub-G 900 MHz, Gemini, and Gemini X as well. This one has an ESP32D4 for the MCU, twin Semtech LR1121 transceivers. Still has that secondary UART port. Working voltage on this one is 5 to 12.6 volts, and the weight is 1.7 grams without the antennas. Dimensions are 22mm by 18mm by 4mm. This little chart is probably the easiest way to kind of summarize how this all works. I would use the XR1 in most applications where I wasn't worried about diversity. The XR2 is the one I'd stick in a little flyer, like a Whoop that's going to be flying around an indoor environment, and I wasn't bothered about high-end telemetry. The XR3 is going to be the basic diversity receiver, which I would use in things like I've just done in that build that I did with the Armatan frame and the TBS Lucid flight controller. And the XR4 is the ultimate, where if you want, you can actually have full Gemini and Gemini X running on that. So I'll put links down below to these new receivers. Do go check them out. It's always fun to see some new stuff coming to RadioMaster. RadioMaster are definitely becoming my go-to for most of the radio stuff for ExpressLRS, particularly with that fantastic GX12 that I'm really enjoying and continuing to play with after I did the review last month. This has very quickly replaced the Boxer as my day-to-day radio because of its small size and compactness, but these kind of receivers would work great with any ExpressLRS radio because, of course, that's the whole point. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Painless 360 to your search terms will help you find my content. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.